first, I want to get into a little lesser profile game, but I'm sure people are interested in it nonetheless. Berserk: Band of the Hawk.
Yeah. You wanted to talk about this, right?
I wanted to because I don't know much about it.
It's your favorite game.
You two both played it, right?
Yeah, I played a couple hours.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's based on a more than 27-year running manga series. I said manga before the show, and Callie yelled at me.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
So describe this series to me quick before we jump into the game.
Oof.
Oh,
Can you describe it quick?
I don't know. I mean,
Is the
it's
series Berserk or is the series Band of the Hawk?
The series is Berserk.
Berserk.
Okay.
It's known for being really gory. It kind of resurfaced due to a new anime that aired last year, and it was controversial for having a lot of CG that everyone hated.
It's basically all CG.
It was like all CG.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
As opposed to like purist anime.
Well, yeah, because there was a TV series in the 90s that was rather short-lived, only told like part of one arc of the manga.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't go that far.
It's one of those things that, like, some anime, I'll be like, just read the manga. This is probably one of them for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's about a dude named Guts, and he just likes to kill people. That's a super simplification of it.
Yeah, there's like a lot of occult stuff that's brought into it, and super gory, and like things like demons and hell are very prominent. And,
I mean, like, I want to emphasize how gory and heavy it is. Like, this is not something you take lightly. Don't read it like if you just want to like a little romp,
Right.
So it fits because it's part of like it's a spin-off of the Warriors series, Dynasty Warriors,
it's
Warriors of
mechanically
Orokai.
similar to that series,
It's
right?
a Musou game.
Because Omega Force did this as well, right? And
So basically, and Berserk Guts has got a huge sword, and he's just mowing down enemies, and that's basically what you've always done in those games.
And our review is up if you want to go read it. 5 out of 10 from Miguel Concepcion, our editor here at GameSpot. He seemed to find it monotonous and banal after its first hour or two, especially considering the like extra content doesn't seem to be. Yeah,
that's very much a common complaint with Musou games. But this one has a lot of anime cutscenes in it. We're just looking at some Berserk right now.
Super long cutscenes, right?
Super long cutscenes taken from the long history of different anime and different arcs of Berserk. And they actually did tighten up the CG that was a big complaint for the most recent Berserk anime adaptation, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, look at that.
Those upturned lips and that bulbous nose is not the Guts I know.
That's not the business.
Oh, he looks different than the one we're used to.
It's slightly, there's like stylized kind of take on him. And so like, it's the anime itself is engaging. Like the cutscenes are enjoyable to watch, despite like, I love the older stuff, but these are still okay in the context of the game. But then you only get about 5 to 10 minutes to play before you get thrown into another cutscene.
Oh, that's like what game was that? Asura's Wrath. Did you play that back in the day?
Yeah,
reminds me of that a little bit. But even that, like the gameplay itself was quick time events,
right? Exactly,
interactive cutscenes throughout the whole game.
But like to contrast it with something similar, like I've played One Piece Musou games that basically tell a very abridged version of the One Piece story. If you don't know, One Piece is at like episode 800 now.
That's silly.
Still running.
Too many episodes.
Yeah, it's too many. But like the One Piece Musou games kind of do these very short versions of cutscenes, and so it's not as broken up as Band of the Hawk is, just for context.
Okay. Yeah, so there are like side objectives, it looks like, in this. From what you guys played, how long did both you play?
I was only allowed to play about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Why were you only allowed? Who was preventing you from playing one?
The PR company.
Oh, like a preview?
I was capturing footage. I can only capture 2 hours.
I thought like
his mom limited his TV time.
Yeah,
Peter, you played more than an hour of Berserk.
A heavy smoker.
You're not supposed to.
A real heavy smoker.
Peter, that game's rated M. Get off the TV. I want to watch my stories.
Yep.
So you played it for a preview. What, is that the same thing, or did you play it like post-release?
Well,
it's out.
Yes. I sit next to Miguel, so I just kind of swoop in on what he's working on sometimes.
Right.
So I didn't even get 2 hours, but it's enough with a Musou game. It's pretty much enough to get a feel for what it's going to be. The gameplay is pretty similar throughout, obviously, and then I watched a lot of the cutscenes just kind of over his shoulder.
What's going on here? Is it like a medieval kind of aesthetic?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, like you were kind of like an orphan, and now you're a mercenary, and you joined this crew that is essentially the leader is Griffith, who sort of is like your longtime like ally rival from that point forward. But like the gameplay is basically this. No matter what your side objectives are, this is kind of all you're doing.
Yeah.
And in a sense, it does kind of capture like the essence of Guts, like he's covered in blood right now. There's blood flying everywhere.
He has a huge sword.
Right.
Like, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, and I think maybe perhaps better than the Berserk games that were on Dreamcast and the Japanese one on PS2. Like this feels like your Guts a little bit more, but it just, you don't really get the same sense of like the character rather than like what he does.
Is he an interesting character in the manga?
He's certainly conflicted, and he's got a lot of inner dialogue.
Yeah.
You kind of get a lot of it here just through cutscenes, which is ambitious for these games to try to like, present a story, but it's, especially for fans of the series, stuff they've already seen. So it does retread familiar ground, which
yes.
detracts from that a little bit. And there's certain aspects of the anime and manga that are hinted at or sort of talked about for brief stints of time, even in those mediums, that it's like a video game that was exploring just like the Dark Knight part of Guts would be awesome, but it focuses so much in the beginning. Well, actually, in the very beginning, he's in like hell.
Yeah.
But from that point forward, it moves towards him like, being a budding mercenary. And that stuff Berserk fans have experienced forever. And I think this doesn't even give them what they want. And speaking as a casual Berserk fan, it doesn't give me what I want.
Right.
Yeah, and even like if you're like, this isn't going to be a good entry point for Berserk if you haven't been exposed to it at all. Like again, just read the manga. That's my mantra.
So I don't know how much of a dedicated following like Musou games have. I mean, I'm sure they do, but it seems like it's so monotonous, and I feel like I'm shitting on it and all. I play them. I play them for like the catharsis of it, just kind of mowing through enemies. And
well, yeah, it's like that relaxing kind of grind.
Sure. Does this game cater well to fans of Musou, like even if they don't care about
So
Berserk?
Miguel has a pretty long history with the series. I forget his exact points, but basically I think what it boiled down to for him is, in that context, this doesn't maybe do enough to stand out if you're just looking at it as like a Musou game.
Yeah.
Just speaking from my experience, if you look at Attack on Titan, that game that came out a couple months ago, at least at that point, mobility has changed because you have these things that propel you through the
3D
air.
maneuver gear.
Right, like you can just fly all around the map. I mean, that feels like a fundamental change where it's like, cool, this really...
Talk about the PS4 one, right?
Yeah. I mean, this really just feels like you're playing Musou with the dressing of Berserk, not necessarily that it's influenced the gameplay as much as the story and the setting.
That's a good point.
Gotcha. Okay, well, that is Berserk Band of the Hawk. We'll move on from that shortly. Our review by Miguel Concepcion is up on GameSpot. He gave it a 5 out of 10. You can go read a little more about that. We have gameplay videos up as well if you're interested in watching more.
Yep.
Yeah, the video review is up on YouTube and GameSpot. So go check those out and let us know what you think and whether you want to be playing it amid the slew of releases on the near horizon.
Slurry. A real frothy slurry.
Yeah.